and contempt for the law, contempt for individuals who work each and every day to serve our government, contempt for Congress. Republican members have just rolled over and allowed, he engaged in this pattern and practice of illegality. And it was following a 2-year investigation after, hearing individuals, witnesses before a hearing, the king. And that's what we are doing each and every day. It was not my intention to resist.
Trump inflated his assets by millions to get better loans and insurance rates. Then NY Attorney General Letitia James spent 2 years building a case that ended with a $486 million judgment against him. Not exactly pocket change, even for a guy with gold toilets. But here's what's really wild, the same pattern of lies Trump used in his business. He's using those exact same tactics to attack our democracy. James breaks it all down in this exclusive interview, showing how her legal victory creates a roadmap for protecting our institutions from grumpy Trumpy's power grab. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You know how Trump loves to brag about his wealth? Well, what New York Attorney General Letitia James discovered after digging through his finances for 2 years wasn't just a little white lie. It was a whole shady business strategy.
Listen, we brought the case against Donald Trump, who was then a civilian, because he inflated his assets for the purposes of taking advantage of low interest rates and insurance rates. And so I've got a duty and an obligation to defend the rule of law. I took an oath to the Constitution and not to, he engaged in this pattern and practice of illegality. And it was following a 2-year investigation after, hearing individuals, witnesses before a hearing.
The Orange Menace wasn't just fudging a few numbers, he was systematically inflating his assets by millions to trick banks into giving him better loans. Classic Trump move, am I right? But here's the scary part. He's now applying that same fraudulent playbook to our government. In her Meidas interview, AG James laid out how Trump's pattern of making stuff up didn't end with his business. Now he's just making up government statistics out of thin air. Remember when Trump and his billionaire buddy Elon Musk started throwing around claims about $400 to $600 billion in incorrect Social Security payments? Pure fiction. There's zero evidence backing those numbers. It's the same inflation tactics he used on his property values, but now he's doing it with taxpayer money. As James explained in the interview, he engaged in this pattern and practice of illegality that wasn't political, but based on facts and the rule of law. This is what's so dangerous. Trump treats facts like they're optional. When he doesn't like the real numbers, he just invents new ones that sound better to him. The parallels between business Trump and President Trump are downright creepy. In business, he inflated his assets. In government, he inflates threats and deflates successes that aren't his. In business, he attacked judges who ruled against him. As president, he's doing the exact same thing. The man who couldn't truthfully report the size of his Trump Tower apartment now can't truthfully report on anything happening in America. What's brilliant about James's investigation is that it gives us a blueprint for understanding Trump's current behavior. If he lied about his wealth for decades, what else is he lying about now? Democratic attorneys general across the country saw this coming. They actually studied Project 2025 and prepared legal strategies before Trump even took office again. They knew exactly what playbook he'd use because they'd seen it before. The $486 million judgment that James secured against Trump isn't just about money. It's proof that his pattern of fraud can be legally documented, challenged, and punished. That's why it matters for challenging his governmental overreach now. That $486 million judgment was just the beginning. Letitia James and her fellow Democratic AGs have been stopping Trump's extreme executive orders almost as fast as he can sign them. While Trump thought he could rule America like one of his failed businesses, James and her team had a different plan cooking. They've formed what she calls a blue wall of defense, and it's working better than Trump's actual wall ever did. When Trump tried to strip birthright citizenship from babies born on American soil, James's team wasn't caught napping.
And so he would like to allege that it was politics, but it really wasn't. It was based on facts and the rule of law. So we were able to secure a summary judgment and then and contempt for the law, contempt for individuals who work each and every day to serve our government, contempt for Congress. Republican members have just rolled over and allowed. After a hearing, we secured a judgment, and the interest rate continued to increase, and we are awaiting at this point in time a decision from the appellate division of the state of New York. And now what he is doing is causing more chaos, confusion.
After the birthright citizenship executive order, we were able to file suit within 48 hours, she proudly explained. These attorneys general aren't just firing off angry tweets, they're winning in court with lightning-fast legal responses that have Trump's team scrambling. The secret sauce: these Democratic AGs weren't starting from scratch when Trump took office. They'd already done their homework, studying exactly which courts to file in and which legal strategies would work best. We've analyzed circuits all throughout this country, we've analyzed jurisdiction, venue, James revealed, showing why Trump's team keeps getting slapped down in courtrooms across America. And the victories just keep piling up. When Trump tried to freeze funds for essential services like Meals on Wheels and Social Security programs, James's office secured both temporary restraining orders and preliminary injunctions. When Elon Musk's team somehow got unauthorized access to sensitive personal information through the Treasury Department, James shut that down too. Even Trump's attacks on the National Institutes of Health and Scientific Research ran into the blue wall. The contrast between the AG offices and Trump's legal team couldn't be more embarrassing. While James's attorneys show up prepared with solid legal arguments, Trump's DOJ lawyers are, in her words, bumbling around in court with no answers and lacking enough staff to handle these challenges. It's like watching a professional chess player beat someone who's still trying to figure out how the pieces move.
Elon Musk and his musketeers, obviously, that gain access to our private and personal information. He's throwing everything against the wall to see what sticks. And it's basically a brazen attack on our democratic system of government, the king. And that's what we are doing each and every day. It was not my intention to resist, who tell me their stories each and every day about losing their job, individuals who are afraid about Social Security, individuals who are veterans, law enforcement individuals, and people who are afraid about their loved ones being deported and separated.
But this isn't just about legal tactics, it's about protecting real people. James has filed successful challenges to defend teachers in underserved communities after Trump unlawfully terminated grant programs designed to support education in these areas. While Trump targets the vulnerable, James defends them. When you look at what James has accomplished, it's pretty clear Trump's dishonest tricks aren't unstoppable. The law can actually catch up with him. What's really impressive is how these AGs aren't just reacting. They've created this whole system to protect regular folks from Trump's crazy orders. They're literally outsmarting him at every turn. James gave us something powerful when she said Americans need to tell the stories and let people know that this too is our country. That's the whole ballgame right there. Trump thinks he owns America, but James is basically saying, nope, it belongs to all of us. This isn't just about lawsuits, it's about having a blueprint to stop a wannabe dictator. While Trump's busy raging on Truth Social, these AGs are quietly winning in actual courts. And honestly, that's way more important than likes and retweets.